In this video, we will explore the Doppler effect for higher level students. We will represent the Doppler effect using wavefronts when either the source or observer is moving. Afterwards, we will use the higher level Doppler effect equations to calculate the observed frequencies of sound waves and mechanical waves due to the Doppler effect. We will then see how the redshift or blueshift of atomic line spectra can provide information about the motion of stars and galaxies. We will end this video with the standard level Doppler effect equation, which is best applied for light waves. Recall an everyday example where we have a loud noise coming from a car moving at a high speed. When the car approaches us, we will hear a high-pitched sound. But then after the car passes us, the car sounds lower in pitch as it moves away. And here is an example of the sound that we would hear. This is an example of the Doppler effect, which is the phenomenon that is observed when there is relative motion between a source and an observer. The observer will perceive a different frequency from that emitted by the source. One application of the Doppler effect is the use of ultrasound in medical physics. Pulses of ultrasound are emitted from a transducer and are reflected back by the moving blood cells. The moving blood cells cause a shift in frequency of the ultrasound, and this measured change of frequency can be used to measure the speed of blood flow. This can then be used to diagnose many medical issues. The Doppler effect can be explained using wavefronts. Consider first a stationary source S emitting sound waves at a given frequency. If we have a stationary observer O, the wavefronts reach the observer at the same frequency as they are emitted, so they will measure the same frequency of sound that is emitted, and no Doppler effect is observed here. In this next animation, the source S is moving towards the stationary observer, and notice how the wavefronts between the source and the observer become crowded together. This means the wavelength measured by the observer is less than the wavelength emitted by the source. The speed of sound is the same for both source and observer, so from the wave speed equation, the observed frequency must be greater than the emitted frequency. Conversely, when we have a source moving away from the observer, the distance between the wavefronts is increased, and this means that the observed frequency is lower than the emitted frequency from the wave speed equation. Let's now consider a stationary source of sound and an observer who moves towards the source. Since the source is stationary, the distance between wavefronts does not change, so the wavelength is fixed, and the moving observer would measure the same wavelength as it would if the observer was stationary. However, the observer will meet more wavefronts in a given time than if it remained stationary, so the observed frequency appears to be greater than the emitted frequency in this scenario. We can view this in terms of relative velocities. From the observer's point of view, the wavefronts appear to be moving toward them at a speed equal to their speed plus the speed of sound, even though the source is stationary from an outside perspective. So this observer will measure a higher effective wave speed due to this relative motion. Then from the wave speed equation, the observed frequency must be greater than the emitted frequency. Using similar arguments, if the observer moves away from the source, the observer will meet wavefronts less frequently. The observer will measure a lower effective wave speed due to the lower relative speed between the observer and the wave. So this means that the observed frequency is lower than the emitted frequency. Since the wavelength does not change for a stationary source, this is why we often refer to the change in frequency measured by the observer, and not the change in wavelength when defining the Doppler effect. In this section, we will calculate the observed frequencies for sound waves and mechanical waves due to the Doppler effect. When we have a moving source, the frequency detected by a stationary observer is given by the following equation. Here, f is the emitted frequency, v is the velocity of the waves, and u sub s is the velocity of the source. To determine which sign to use in the denominator, consider the wavefront diagram. The observer will measure a higher frequency when the source approaches them, so u sub s must be subtracted here to make the denominator smaller, which results in a larger observed frequency when the motion is towards the observer. Conversely, u sub s must be added when the source moves away from the observer, as they will measure a lower observed frequency in this case. If instead we have a moving observer, the frequency detected by the observer from a stationary source is given by this equation. Here, u sub o represents the velocity of the observer, and the other variables have the same definitions. From earlier discussions, a higher frequency is measured when the observer moves towards the source, so u sub o must be added to make the numerator larger in this case. On the other hand, u sub o must be subtracted when the observer moves away from the source. Let's now consider some numerical examples. In this first example, we want to calculate the frequencies observed by a stationary listener from a moving train, so this requires us to use the moving source Doppler equation. When the train approaches the listener, we expect a larger frequency, and this is achieved by subtracting the source velocity to make the denominator smaller. If we now substitute in the relevant values, we calculate a frequency of 181 Hz. When the train passes and moves away from the listener, we expect a smaller frequency, so here we need to add the source velocity. Substituting in the relevant values, we now calculate a frequency of 131 Hz. As a side note, notice how the changes in frequency as the train approaches and moves away are not equal and symmetric, even though the relative velocity between the source and the listener is the same. In this second example, we have a stationary source of waves, and we need to determine the velocity of the moving observer using the moving observer Doppler equation. Since the observer detects a lower frequency, they must be moving away from the source, and a lower frequency is obtained by subtracting the observer velocity in the numerator of this equation. We can now rearrange this equation to make the observer velocity the subject, and then substitute in the known values. This then gives a velocity of 19.4 meters per second away from the car alarm. The Doppler effect also occurs for electromagnetic waves, and this is of particular importance in astronomy as it provides information of the motion of stars and galaxies in the universe. In this case, the speed of light is always measured to be 3 × 10⁸ meters per second, irrespective of the relative motion between source and observer. When the source of light, such as a star, moves away from Earth, then the frequency received by the observer decreases and the wavelength increases. This change to lower frequencies and larger wavelengths is called a redshift, and this can be seen through the use of atomic line spectra. These lines are characteristic of certain elements, and notice how the lines from the distant galaxy have the same overall pattern but are all shifted to the right towards the red end of the electromagnetic spectrum. This is why it is called a redshift, and this line spectrum shows that the galaxy must be moving away from Earth. Conversely, when a star moves towards Earth, the waves are blue-shifted since their wavelengths become shorter and their frequencies are increased. The lines on the line spectra will all be shifted to the left towards the blue end of the electromagnetic spectrum. Then this is a blue shift and indicates that the source must be moving closer to Earth. To calculate the change in frequency or wavelength observed for an electromagnetic wave due to the Doppler effect, we can use the following simplified equation. This equation applies when the speed of the source or observer is much less than the speed of the wave, as is normally the case for light waves. In this equation, v is the relative velocity between the source and observer, c is the speed of light in a vacuum, f is the emitted frequency, and then delta f will give the change in the observed frequency. Alternatively, if we are given the emitted wavelength lambda, then delta lambda will give the change in the observed wavelength. The following example shows how the Doppler effect can be used to determine the speed of a car. In this situation, there is a double Doppler effect. The first shift is the stationary gun emitting waves to a moving car, so the car will observe a greater frequency. In the second shift, waves are reflected off the moving car with this greater frequency, so the car acts as a moving source towards the stationary radar gun, and the gun will detect an even greater frequency. Therefore, a factor of 2 is required in the Doppler equation due to the double shift. We can then rearrange for the velocity term and substitute in the known values. Completing this calculation gives us a speed of 22.9 meters per second. We will now provide a final summary of the key understandings from this video. The Doppler effect is the phenomenon that is observed when an observer perceives a different frequency from that emitted by a source, when there is relative motion between the source and the observer. To calculate the relative change in frequency or wavelength observed for a wave due to the Doppler effect, we can use the following simplified equation, which is best applied for light waves. Furthermore, for higher level students, the observed frequencies of sound waves and mechanical waves due to the Doppler effect can be calculated using the following equations, where one applies for a moving source and stationary observer, and the other applies for a moving observer and stationary source. This now concludes our higher level video on the Doppler effect. Thank you for watching.